Hello, everyone. This is Ferrum. Welcome on this great night, September 18th, 2018. First podcast post Worlds. This is the anniversary, technically, I think, as Combo said, of our second episode, actually. It's falling down. But so, with us today, we have our usual host of McDareth.
Hey everyone.
Yes, me, Mins. I really feel I cannot make it, so we have our resident substitute of Combo.
That's me. Been here before, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, the only quote-unquote guest to be here more than twice. And then finally we have our main guest of honor, world champion Thanksalot.
Hi.
Alright. Yes, alright. So, I guess jumping into real things real quick. We're probably gonna, even though chronologically it would normally be the first event, we're gonna save Worlds for the last because it's probably the most important, most relevant things going on, most exciting. Gotta keep you hooked, you know. So to start, we'll just ignore that later, and then go on to Summer Jam. It's the yearly biggie event happening in Pennsylvania. Tri-State shows up every year. I think it had a solid amount of turnout. And Flagger won. This, I believe, was his first ever major win, tournament win.
I believe it is, yeah.
So, is Summer Jam technically a major?
Yeah.
I mean, like...
It will probably end up being like C rank, but I mean, it counts. It's going to end up counting. It had enough people to count. It had more people than SCR, I think.
Yeah, definition is a little weird with the way kind of how our community is structured and how we get distribution events currently at this point in time. So the definitions can be kind of fluid. They can be kind of light. There might be some little stretches here and there. But generally, we're going to try to get by and get the rankings through in a suitable manner.
It definitely had, I think, at least like 30 people, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, no. Though I guess one thing to note, and we'll get into this a little later, was notable Tri-State player in Roxa was not there. He was in Japan.
Yeah.
But for that week. But we'll get to that in a second. But Summer Jam, always really cool. I've never gone there because it's literally always been the week I go to college. But it's like this sort of ends up always being this Tri-State tournament for like the salty Worlds run back in a sense. It's like you didn't win Worlds, you probably didn't even qualify, but you played a Summer Jam.
Right. This year it had 23 entrants.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
According to Smash.gg at least.
Oh, okay. I was looking at before. It probably had a bunch of DQs as usual. Still okay then. But it's good to see Flagger taking stuff.
This is one of the tournaments that Sandman, which is a name from long past, if anyone remembers Sandman, did in fact attend because he is in the region. So he does show up to biggie events here and there, and he has quite the legacy behind him. But he was eliminated by Soul Guitarist in losers bracket, but he did make top 8.
Yeah.
So once again, old players still kicking, and I mean, Tri-State's just got so much rich history and so many players that you can find at any tournament. So you see people like Raydell Empire breaking out to 4th at this tournament, almost made the Burnside graphic. He was getting really close there. Soul Guitarist in top 3. We got Sondula in 2nd place, a contender who loves traveling across the entire U.S. to get to tournaments and things like that. But it's still an East Coast player, and it's just
something interesting is the Soul Guitarist. He got 2nd place last year, right, to Twixie?
Yeah, Summer Jam. Yeah, Summer Jam was the Shandy Ditto.
Shandy Meter, yep. Which was a lot of fun. Just, I mean, he doesn't really tend to go out too much except for these Tri-State events, but it's pretty cool to see him show up a lot, and always kind of do well in these Pennsylvania ones. Right. And I think Big E always loves us at these events. Like, he's always a huge fan of Pokken and his community and the passion and enthusiasm we always show for it because, he deals with so many different games. And like a lot of these communities sometimes end up taking him for granted. It's like you'll see it when they get dropped from his events. And for Winter Brawl, even he's talking about how it's going to be like this all 3D fighters, and a lot of people were very concerned for like their game because it's like, oh my god, how are we not going to be at Summer Jam? But I don't know if he said Pokken will be there yet, but it's very strong.
When he picked the main games, he didn't name Pokken. At least now, at least.
Yeah, but he is saying like if there's other games, he's still looking to add other games, and obviously he likes us, we like him. Winter Jam's been a great community for Pokken.
Right. And we're an interesting hybrid, so we could definitely still fall under the 3D fighting game category.
Dimensions.
Even though he technically got rid of Winter Brawl, he made another tournament, April Annihilation. The name's so bad. But that's like the new Winter Brawl tournament.
So they'll be pushing it back as well?
Wait.
No, Winter Brawl is still like, so he wasn't going to do Winter Brawl at all. And then he made April Annihilation. And he decided, okay, Winter Brawl, I'll keep that, the 3D fighters. And he added in some anime fighters, so it still exists.
Oh, has anime fighters now? Okay.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball Fighters is there.
And, so yeah, I guess you can't. You can't really have
probably cross tag maybe.
So they don't have Street Fighter.
April Annihilation is the biggest name I've ever heard.
Fascinating to me, actually, because there was this is off topic, unfortunately, but it's like there was an argument of like a tournament couldn't exist without Street Fighter a long time ago. So it's just kind of neat to see that.
Winter Brawl's a lot of Namco Bandai games, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of ways. FGC is a lot of 3 of the biggest ones right now.
Yeah, they're definitely growing their space, which is really nice. Like Street Fighter's kind of losing that monopoly over the fighting game genre. Now we have things like anime fighters coming out, Dragon Ball Fighters, and 3D fighters coming to a huge resurgence with Tekken 7 and Dead or Alive 6 and Soul Calibur 6. So it's really cool to see all this variety, and we have lots of new tag fighters coming out, and like the industry as a whole is just glowing and shining, and it's awesome that Pokken gets to be a part of all of this.
Yeah, it's a great time for Pokken just to be like in this like expansion, I guess, from the single like Street Fighter only kind of sort of atmosphere that the FGC used to have.
Right.
Like just having these players being more willing to branch out and try new games is just like applies to everything. Like even the more niche ones. Like I've even seen like Melty Blood getting like more players. Like everything is just getting like people want to see what's out there for once. I want to taste the things. And then I guess it's a good way to segue into the next big event. This is another mainstay of Pokken community. Also kind of out there, out of the States, Kanto 4.
Yes.
Yes, which is one of the longest running Pokken, the longest running Japanese Pokken tournament series. It's been with us since the beginning of competitive Pokken, which it happened literally the night before the DreamHack Austin, the original one.
Back in 2016?
Yes, 2016. It happened literally the night before.
Wow.
That was Kanto 1, and so now here we are, Kanto 4. The only player to still be in the top 8 top 8 of all 4 of them is Azazel, and he has not won since the first. Just shouts to the winner, Tarotaro. This man, this Gengar, I've seen. We have someone who's played against them, probably the only one who's played against them on my right. But
we'll definitely get to that pretty soon. That's quite a major topic to discuss. But yeah, we have lots of big hitters, lots of mainstays from the Japanese scene. You have players like Tarotaro, Haruyuki, Rara, Azazel, Bangi, and Mikuki, and even Futen Pyrus have been showing up to events all over. So all the 8 of these players are quite well known and respected for their characters. And once again, you can just see the character diversity that Japan has. You have things like Scissor's, Rara Scizor in top 3. You have Tarotaro's Gengar, winning the entire event. Bangi taking with his Roxo that he's known for in Paris, over with his Pikachu.
Wait. Did you say Bangi with his Roxo that he's known for?
Oh, he did say I did say that. I meant to say with his Garchomp, I've associated. Yeah.
So funny thing, or with Roxo at least, because I know, well, besides Libre, because I know like he really wanted to outplace Bangi here, because he feels like, because you're not Worlds, because him and Bangi both lost to Tarotaro, but Bangi lost to him later, and they literally played back to back. So he placed below him. He's like, oh, people are gonna keep thinking like, oh, Bangi's just way better than me. Then here he wanted to outplace him, and Bangi did better, but again, I'm pretty sure Tarotaro beat Bangi again, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and Roxo lost to him. So
yeah,
he lost
Roxo
to him and then Uho, or was it Uho and then him? Am I backwards there?
I don't.
The Tartars and winners, so I think him and winners.
Yeah,
and Uho and
makes
losers.
a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
That does add up. Speaking of Roxo, he was the highest placing American player at Kanto 4.
Mixing up all our terms today.
Yeah, no. At Kanto 4, he got 60th.
Yeah, I think it was
19th, somewhere.
Yeah.
He didn't make top 8, but he still got out of his pool, which is pretty impressive.
That's cool. I mean, Japan is a very different kind of scene, but they're very competitive and very stacked. So it's really cool to see how the American players stack up in like a very Japanese-centric setting, where it almost feels like the opposite at the World Championships, considering that they're always held stateside. So they're getting that kind of reversal of atmosphere and competition. It's really, really cool to see the interaction between different scenes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
One thing I have to say, though, that clip of Alistair getting grabbed, I feel like he over-respects Japanese. I swear any American Blaziken tries that same thing, so he texts it. I don't think he sits there and blocks that many times.
So it's Ibu?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as well. I think he plays a lot more disrespectful.
Against fellow American players. Yeah.
Which is the funniest thing
paradigm shift.
Alistair, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he's gone on record to say this, but he's definitely said this in many, many voice chats throughout the years, is that he has claimed that he has never lost to any Blazikens, like Japanese Blazikens. Like he just destroyed them in series.
Right.
So, specifically, I think he's talked about Ibu before, I never lose in this actual Best of Something series. But it happened.
I mean, that matchup is something else. But
yeah, he went sweeping the whole thing, or for that matchup specifically. I think he definitely went Mewtwo in other ones, and probably other. Anyways, but yeah, no, crazy. I just want to talk about how crazy Tartaro's rise has been throughout this year and a half. Because think back to last Kanto, I'm almost certain that was one of the first few events, big Japanese events he had ever gone to, if not the first. And he placed second place, losing to Bengi. 1 year ago, exactly a year ago. Here he is winning the event after getting top 8 at literally every other Japanese event he's been to.
And getting second at Worlds.
Yeah. And in the process, he did end up beating Bengi this time around. So having those nice little reversals and matchups played over again an entire year later to see how the player has developed, how the characters have developed, it's really, really interesting to see how 1 year can change so much. Looking back at last year's World Championships compared to this year's World Championships, looking at Japan's roster, what characters they bring to us, you might see some similarities with things like the Gengar showing up again. But at the same time, so the players are different, and you have different results. You have Gengar in second place this time around. So meta progression is absolutely insane, especially in a game where we feel like sometimes we hit a roadblock and then suddenly some discovery is made, some new tech is found, some characters expanded upon, and everything shifts and starts all over again.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Poken's always adapting. There's so many people still don't even fully understand some of these DLC mashups and some of the new characters, some of the old characters. So it's always going to be really fun to watch as it continues.
And the little things between patches as well always helps keep things flavored.
Yeah, definitely has helped in the past. Or some might argue has hurt too. But sorry, I say that literally as a Mew.
As Shadow Mewtwo player.
No, as Mew was called on screen and gave Tara.
Okay, the amount of times Tara has called Mew and gotten double buffs is just disgusting. It is ridiculous.
It was more than should have been average.
It's not even this. It's just
10%,
Worlds.
It happened more than 10%.
The amount of time at Worlds in Grand Finals alone where he got double buffs was
it happened. He got double buffs. I think 5 times. He got no buffs twice. They're the same odds, but sometimes he'd get double buffs 3 times in a row.
World Championships is the greatest place to have that kind of good luck. So.
Clearly, it wasn't enough. Clearly, luck does not prevail against pure skill. As we say, Pokken is no longer a luck-based game. Factual statements. We can factual proof, evidence. Boom.
Clearly.
Take that, haters. But yeah, no, Kanto's super cool. So I'm really excited to that it happens again. I'm definitely expecting it to happen. Next year. It's always a success. I think it always grows in people too. Like more and more people every year. They had like 27 pools or something this year. It was crazy.
Wow.
Pools of like 8 people, but it's still like a lot of people. Or 17, sorry, 27. It was like 17. Just a lot, anyways. Really cool event. I love it. I love that it's also like intertwined with the ARMS community in Japan too. I think that sort of cross-pollination is always really exciting to see. It's nice to see those communities get together to work together to have these really cool events.
I guess you could say they're brothers in arms.
I guess you could.
I was trying to think of like some Pokemon thing you can make in there, but no.
You got us there.
Can't get any extra things. Anyways, that's it for Kanto. And I guess so. Moving on to thing that literally just happened a few days ago. SoCal Regionals, Southern California Regionals, as you would guess, happens in Southern California.
Wow.
I know, right? And then, yeah, this happened this past weekend. Again, not like this major, giant event, but, is a repeat. This is the 3rd year it's happened. 4th, maybe?
3rd. It has to be the 3rd.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, wouldn't make sense 4th. That would be before the game came out on Wii U.
That is true. Yes.
Yes.
That is truth. Anyways, technically speaking, SoCal did actually have access to Pokken in arcade cabinets. But that's besides the point. They had the 2 in level
they
up.
Level up. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, but the 3rd year, and this time Alistair is the winner. He got Suicune, tried and true, but bringing out some more Sceptile, I think, this year as well.
Yeah, and last year had a lot of significance because it was the launch weekend of Deluxe, so we got to see players like Suicune Master playing Decidueye, just because that character had just been launched for us, and the arcade characters were fairly new to us as well. So it was a lot of hype, a lot of excitement to see players traveling all over the country just to get this launch tournament last year at SoCal Region. So in a way, it was like a celebration, like an anniversary of the game, similar to how we treated Final Round back in 2017. So it's really, really cool to see like these kind of anniversaries, legacy tournaments that we have. DreamHack Austin, SoCal Regionals, Final Round, and pretty much all of Big E's events. They come year after year, how things progress, how players change. So now this year we have Alistair winning with his new slew of characters that he's having a lot of fun with. But then you get to see some old players that are still in top 8, like EDD and a couple other of the kind of SoCal and NorCal guys coming out to events, Couch. So it's cool to see like the West Coast scene still picking up and doing what they can with what they've been given.
So with SCR, actually, Alistair's actually defended his title because he won last year.
He did. He's one of the 4 people, NA players who have defended the title, I think.
Yeah.
I think. Hold on, I need to get a treasury. Smart. He just about to die, actually.
Alright then. I would have liked to the other players were defended, but yeah, so last year the grand finals was Alistair versus Coach. And as you mentioned, Suicune Master using Decidueye, Slipping Bug also used Scizor mostly to this event.
Yep.
I remember UDL made top 8, and that was a really big deal to him.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see a lot of these players like Couch still sticking with the Machamp though. Tried and true since the beginning. He's definitely always spoken about be like one of the sort of best in California. Speaking of California, California does not get enough events. They do not get enough love in general, right? I'm pretty sure you just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just like level up when they have events. They get stuff
it's like,
there.
No, they have their events now. They have had more sort of recently in the.
Well, just like they don't have someone like Big E who runs like large
a ton of
tournaments
stuff
throughout the years. Yeah, so East Coast always has had more because of that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but
and the involvement and separation of regions as well on East Coast helps a lot with like the multiplication of like what region you associate yourself with. Like West Coast is pretty much like Washington, like absolutely coast is like Washington, NorCal, SoCal. And then you have to go in deeper toward the Midwest to get things like the Vegas scene or like the Colorado scene where it's kind of like borderline, are you West Coast, are you Midwest? Midwest is massive too. So like this kind of spread doesn't help as much compared to East Coast. Like almost it feels compact. Like there's so many different states, so many different separate areas and like in a close region. So it drives competitiveness. It drives like regional faith and your connection to your state. And then with Big E helping out, lots of other East Coast events as well. Things like CEO, and like Atlanta, although not this past year, but generally we had CEO.
Oh, you mean Jabali, not Big E?
Yeah, Jabali. I mean, there is Big E as well, but I'm talking about events aside from Big E as well.
Yeah, but you said like helping out with events. I was confused when you mentioned CEO and GMAC Atlanta.
Oh, right. yeah.
He does help with Fall Classic, though. I think that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Scaling back needs to be done sometimes. Yeah. Just so you don't get oversaturated in events and things like that. But I mean, yeah, just like that, East Coast has like such an advantage with all the tournament organizers, all the dedicated players they have, and all the different regions they have. So West Coast is definitely putting up a good fight, trying to keep their events going, trying to keep morale up. And they had an amazing showing earlier this year with Switch Fest. So there's definitely a lot of potential that can be tapped into there.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there could be. I can see another Switch Fest kind of thing happening again. I mean, they have recently their locals reignited as in their fights back at East or the Foundry. No, what's it called?
The Forge, I think.
Yeah, it's like it's something like that. Where it's Alex Valla's run event, which is like the big thing, and they've had it really consistently. It's good to see that scene back. I wish Ruda was here because he'd be able to, this is his topic, He's the California guy on our show. But it's California has so many great players that just can't travel enough, and it's always great to see him. Great to see him compete, and great to see Alistair win it again. All right, and I guess going on from there, it's the meat of these events, the biggest one by far.
Time.
But also chronologically, the first one. It's before all of these events, way back in August 24th to 26th.
Correct. In Nashville, Tennessee, we have Pokémon World Championships. Except Pokémon World Championships last place qualifiers first. Who, I guess, I don't know, probably had some, like 100-something players. 2 from Japan. 1 from Europe. Let's see. 1 from.
No, there should have been more than 1.
Or 2 from Europe.
Yeah, because Teosykes and RP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. 2 from Europe.
Right.
2 from Japan. There was someone from another. Wasn't there someone from another Asian country?
I want to say it was like Singapore or Indonesia or something. I don't remember exactly who. I believe their tag was Brian.
I don't remember what the tag was. I know they existed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm completely blanking right now.
Taiwan makes sense. Regardless, whoever you were, you're awesome for showing up, making this world's more global. But 100 players. Even after the no shows. Was pretty good. I don't know what the other year's numbers were. I'm not going to look them up off the top of my head. But
we had exactly 100.
We had. I don't think it was exactly 100. It was like 102.
For last year or this year?
I thought we were talking about this year.
Oh, time about both.
Okay, so I believe last year was 137, not counting DQs.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one, not counting DQs, was like over that.
Yeah, it's 184 according to.
Yeah, not counting DQs. With DQs, it was like 100.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think like with DQs last year it was somewhere around like 80 to 70.
Okay.
Yeah, or it might have been more. I don't even know. I'm pulling that number completely out of nowhere.
Okay, I was thinking of internationals. Never mind.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, let's not talk about who's DQing. Just 100 members, always a big event, was considered the only, or one of the few S ranks events of the year, the season, which is hard to get. Some crazy competition. We had pools were pretty solid this time around. I think there was a lot more complaints last year as TPCI was kind of trying to get back into having their events and actually seeding them and whatnot.
Right.
People weren't still super satisfied with it. Obviously, there's always going to be complaints with seeding. It's, inherent. No one's going to be happy that they have to fight against Twixie round 1, but someone's going to do it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Speaking of Twixie, the 2 qualifying players of the LCQ were in fact Twixie in 2nd, and then Bangy in 1st place.
Bangy in 1st place, not dropping a single game.
Nope,
or a single set. Sorry.
Set. Yeah, he won.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say. Yeah, I went to say set. Yeah, not game.
Yeah. Twixie was not able to bracket reset him. I think Twixie lost to him in winners and lost him again in losers.
Yeah, taking him to game 5 both times.
Yeah, no, they were close games.
Really close games.
No slouch.
I wanted to see the Twixie Slip winners finals.
Yeah, unfortunately, it happened in losers finals.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Twixie semis.
No, it was losers semis. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was losers finals.
No, it's finals. You're right. It's finals.
No, yeah, because Slip is 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
was he third? I thought he got 4th or something. Someone else upset him. But yeah, it was probably slightly less climactic than people were expecting, but it was still close games, if I remember correctly. Actually, well, they were close games. I don't know if the set count was close.
I thought it was like 3-0, yeah.
Yeah, the set count wasn't too close, but the games themselves are reasonably close. Oftentimes the set counts don't tell you the full story of things, honestly. I've seen some 3-0s that, if you watch the games, looked like they would have been
like anyone could have won, but they just didn't edge it out.
Yeah, just like the slight advantages each time.
Always close.
They had some crazy runs. Let me just. We have LCQ. Unfortunately, we don't have
It's challenge. It's kind of
hard
to find. I know the biggest upsets were probably Sandula over Cross and then Jin over Cross to eliminate him. Jam beat Kino.
I never heard that. Ooh.
Yeah, Bim made it really far.
Yeah.
For being someone that hasn't been playing consistently for a long while. Like, he did really well. We had Scats in 4th place. It's huge results for Scats.
Some of the best.
Rockio. Wow.
Yeah, Scats barely ever gets to go to these big events.
Right.
So it's really cool to see him just sort of do so well. He was really happy with his placement. I know.
I know I would be.
Yeah, Scats has a really great mindset with competing. It's not always about the win. It's about just showing improvement, showing that you've shown that you've made progress as becoming a better player and whatnot. And he definitely achieved his goal. I'm trying to see where else did some other people. Where was Alistair? Where did Alistair place? Sorry.
He placed. Hold on. Hitting standings, and Alistair placed in top 16. He got top 16. He got 13th place. So he did make top 16. Yeah. Other players he tied with were Sandula, I don't even know, and Jam. So solid players all coming out. These guys are from more the East Coast side. Alistair, however, obviously being West Coast. But there's a pretty good distribution of players of North America, like our North American players in their regions in top 16. You have your Midwest people like Thulius. You have a lot of people from East Coast. You have Texas. You're Slipping Bug, Palomar.
So that was something that did happen. That was when I watched. Okay, so not really drama, but when Scats was playing, he won game 1, and then he switched to Empoleon, and then won again. And then I remember I was watching it, and I was watching it as wait, he can't switch. It's and a bunch of people were saying that around me, but it's oh, you can't really do anything unless the opponent says something or a TO says something, but someone noticed, and then they played it again.
Oh, they had to. Wow.
They had the replay concluded.
He had to
Everyone was like,
replay
"Wait a
the
minute."
second game because he wasn't allowed to switch.
3 games in the best of 3.
Ouch.
I don't even think the commentators realized it at the time.
Yeah, they might have thought it was an extended set or something.
Yeah,
Oof.
Wow.
it was pretty
Unfortunate.
great though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he still won it anyways.
He'll take that victory to his heart.
He won that best of the first of 2, 3-0.
3.
Yeah.
Took it all the way to the bank. Got that extra screen time. That's what's important.
I'm like,
That's
ooh,
big,
cool.
you know?
But this isn't allowed.
But yeah, no. So Twixie and I was about to say Rock. So Bangy made it out of the.
I know that feel.
Roxo
Roxo would hate it.
made it
Yeah.
twice.
But yeah, no, they made it out of the LCQ. The crazy bracket that was.
I think that's a compliment if you're being associated so closely with your character that you get the two mixed up, but that's just me.
No, but because I know talking to Roxo, he doesn't like that. He feels like people downplay him and overplay Bangy. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh
gotcha.
dang, rivalry, let's go.
Right.
Yeah,
They did get to play a set when he visited Japan. I believe Bangi won that.
Yes, I think he did. But I mean, the mirror
Yeah, it's a
is
ditto.
not.
Yeah,
it's
like,
the mirror
mirror's
is
always-
not how you
Yeah.
decide the winner. Like, yeah, like it would happen so often in so many other games. It'd be like one player could beat the other always in like the mirror match, but the other one would always outplay. So it's like,
Exactly, yeah.
but I mean, both are amazing players. So, like you can't even. It's so hard to compare them. But anyways, on to the actual worlds itself. The big meat of the event.
So I want to talk about that round 1. All right.
Which one?
ThankSwalot versus Twixie. Because I remember I was around Twixie and he was like laughing a bit, like, I'm sad ThankSwalot had to play me. I wish you could play someone else. And then he got 3-0'd. And it was just like, it was just like, seeing ThankSwalot grind out that matchup to the point where he put Twixie down like that was very impressive.
No, I think it's just I'm so used to fighting Twixie's Aegislash now in particular. It really helped me a lot.
You went all Aegislash, right?
Yeah, plus the nerfs like made it so like obviously he can't camp me with King Shield, which is the main reason I kept losing.
That's true. That does really completely change that matchup, considering how
Right.
every projectile has is delayed, right? So
Right.
yeah, now he has to actually do something. He can be punished for just doing that.
For
kind of
messing
stuff.
up and things, but yeah.
Feels
Changes the whole dynamic.
easier now.
Mhm. What was your like thought process in that match? Like, oh,
Well, I wanted to take advantage of the nerfs because I don't know if he was used to them yet. So I think in that I forgot how much I did it, but I did like I threw the fidget spinners and then Bolt Seed. I did that on like lots of Okies in field
yeah, I think you definitely did that time.
because I forgot if he actually did use King Shield.
He did at some point, but you definitely punished him with like a Lapras at least once.
Yeah, so I wanted to take advantage of that, and if he kept holding shields, he'll just take shit. So
Yeah.
and
I think he like king shielded once against a Snivy call or something and got punished by that as well. Like got hit out of it.
oh yeah, that happens now. Snivy, like I'll get stunned, but he'll get hit by Snivy.
Yeah, he'll get knocked down.
That and I think I got used to his playstyle in the duel, and I could finally get into his head.
That's good. Yeah, I mean it's been really interesting to just see that your matches sort of progress and change like throughout the year because it's happened a lot. As you could probably take a guess, considering you two are probably the most top 3 placings out of like anyone this year.
Yeah, you've traveled a lot this year and placed really, really well. So it's really awesome to see that all like that culmination of everything you've done come to fruition at the World Championships.
Yeah.
So, I was curious though, because like after watching that and seeing your run, part of me really felt like you having to get used to Twixie's Aegislash and overcoming it put you in a spot to win the entire tournament.
I
So
know.
What do you
like,
feel about it?
Twixie's was the one I was worried the most because he beat me 4 times in the span of 2 tournaments. So that beating him 3-0 really gave me the confidence to go throughout the rest of the tournament, even when I had to fight 2 other Aegislash. I can't believe I fought all ghosts. Like, what the
Yeah, did you wait? Yeah.
Yeah, all ghosts
all
and a
ghosts.
Machamp.
The difference was Wingtide switching the Machamp, and that's it.
You had quite the DX 2018 matchup.
Yeah.
Buster, that's it. There we go.
That's the dream. All just left. One day.
So tell us about Wingtide. How did the how matchup against Wingtide, a German player coming out here qualifying from his local qualifier? How that matchup changed compared to playing against Twixie? Like, what did you have to adapt? Did you have to deal with, or did you feel like the nerves were enough to get you going, keep you going through Twixie and Wingtide as well?
Sorry, whenever I think of our set with me and Wingtide, the first thing I think of is when he used 8x on Oki, and then I woke up and he stormed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. It happens to everyone at least once.
This game can be pretty jank sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not.
But,
It's just how it is. You're airborne.
like I
You're
said,
airborne.
beating Twixie 3-0 really gave me the confidence, and fighting his Aegislash so much has really taught me how to use the matchup. And like I said before, the nerfs really helped too. I think, in my opinion, I do think Wingtide's Aegislash is more developed,
Okay.
but I have a harder time with Twixie.
Alright, this is gonna be a spicy question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Aegislash that you played out of all of them at Worlds was the best? That you thought was the best?
It was Haru. I forgot his name. Haruyuki. I'm so bad.
Haruki.
So,
I think his was because I was gonna beat him 3-0, but then he brought it back, and yeah, he's just really good all around. Like Twixie, I beat 3-0. Wingtide, he had to switch to Machamp to win the game.
Yep. You won.
and he still beat that after.
Yeah, and Haruyuki went the entire set, and it ended in 3-2. So I think he's definitely the best.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, definitely fair.
So moving on through your run, you had to play against Mikuki, who also took you to Game 5. Did he play all Chandelure?
Yes, I won the first 2 games, then he won the second 2 games. And that was
So how does that feel? I mean, you play Twixie often, so Twixie also pulls out a Chandelure, although maybe not at this event. At previous events, he is like the Chandelure to watch out for. So was that matchup experience, did that prepare you well enough to deal with Mikuki, or did you have to adapt on the fly, or did you not have enough immediate experience at the time? Like, how did that whole process go with you?
Chandelure's probably, for Septile, the matchup I know the most.
Okay.
That said, though, I don't think I fought Twixie's Chandelure since, like, NEC last year.
Yeah.
Because that was the last time you used Chandelure against me, and then Aegislash came out.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so if you remember much about Tracy's Chandelier, so what do you think were the real differences between those two's play styles? Like their two, sort of how they play the champion or champion character.
I'm not really sure, because I kind of play the matchup the same. I feel like I played the matchup the same between
Interesting.
for both of
Well,
them.
Okay, then something more.
I think Twixie likes to set up a lot more and guess a little more, and that worked out a lot for him. But I'm so used to that's how I win against his Shandy.
Just make a guess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, that's how I feel. I forgot exactly how Mikuki plays.
Okay, well then, for someone who is maybe more fresh in terms of comparison, was like how did Haruki's Aegislash compare to Twixie's? Like, what was different?
Oh, a lot of things. I feel like Twixie's strategy to guess right a lot transfers into Aegislash, and Haruki doesn't do much. I think he's developed with that character a lot better, especially since it's his only main, right? Or does
He has like
He has a Darkrai, I
he has
believe.
Darkrai, Croagunk, Chandelier.
yeah, but
But he
either
don't
way,
play
he still
that world
uses
with him.
he still uses it more than Twixie, so I do think
Yeah.
yeah.
fair. Just more developed, more clean, more polished. Makes sense. He definitely, I think, played. I feel like you could really see it in like his movement. That was sort of the really clear thing for me. Was like he was like sort of really always moving, so always using side Y, the side Y in fields, or like a lot of 5X, a lot of actually a lot of movement in general. Let's just try and really abuse some tools that maybe Twixie doesn't abuse as much as yet. This character has so much room to grow.
Basically.
Okay, fair enough. And then that grand finals. Like
that was the
and it was grand. It was grand.
It was grand.
That was definitely.
I don't know how to fight Gengar. I'm too afraid to use 8Y, even though I know it's the button that destroys Gengar.
As Mount has said many times, it's very good. But yeah, just I guess I've probably even asked this question a lot. But like, what was your mindset going into this? You're up against this best Gengar in the world. You're the first American player to ever be in Grand Finals Worlds, like to be in this sort of, I think, in an event that had like more than 3 Japanese players, to be in the Grand Finals of the event itself. Like, what is going into this matchup? You barely know. Like, what is your mindset? Like, how are you thinking going in? How are you planning? Like, just how are you feeling?
So, well, before that, when it was Haruyuki versus Tartaro, yeah. I was sitting next to Midori, and I was like, man, I don't know who I want to win. I get another Aegislash or a matchup I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with the matchup I don't know and hope for the best. So I usually, whenever I fight someone I haven't fought before or haven't fought in a while, I usually stick to like a single play style, but then that's when I start adapting. But because I don't know the matchup with Gengar much, it took a long time for me to adapt. So,
you got 3-0'd in the first
set, of Grand Finals. And then even the second set was taken to Game 5, so it was a long back and forth struggle between both players trying to get a grip on each other, but eventually we were able to pull it through. Was there some sort of like specific shift, like something that caused it to kind of get this momentum change, or was it kind of like over time you were learning more and more and more, and gradually started to tip towards your favor?
I think I've learned the best way, because everyone knows I like to bait a lot and like make my opponent press buttons. I think I figured out like
that's also Gengar's play.
I figured out
as well.
The right buttons.
That works too.
Makes sense.
Basically, I finally knew how to get into his head during that Game 6.
Okay, Game 6 specifically, because he
beat me 5 times.
5 straight games, and then you just took it 3 straight games right after that. Just like suddenly, you were able to collect out one of the rounds.
Yeah. The thing I kept doing in that matchup was I was always afraid he'd stop grabbing me. And then he grabbed me again, and then again.
Yeah.
He just kept
that fundamental 50-50 is so interesting to deal with. And that sometimes it makes or breaks sets. You gotta be really careful.
Yeah, especially with characters that have such good grabs.
I knew how to bait him the right way. I knew how to pressure him into shielding, because I know a lot. He'll like dash a lot, obviously, because Gengar can dash. But I figured out when he'll decide to shield and when he'll decide to Ghost Dash or Astonish.
Okay.
For me.
So after playing that matchup so much, what is sort of if you need to tell someone else something that they need to like understand the fights, Gengar, what would it be?
Always bait the permeate a lot. Because he likes to permeate a lot, and Gengar doesn't have many tools when just on the ground. He's really good in the air. JY is really good. He disappears with JX.
Yeah.
He can angle it.
Yep.
So you just gotta watch out for the permeate. Luckily, I'm Sceptile, so I got 8Y, which lasts forever, but I'm still too afraid to use it for some reason.
Yeah, even in that, there wasn't a good ton of usage of it.
Oh, yeah. Also, later in the set, I figured I figured out that using detect a lot was really good in field phase.
Yeah, in field phase, yeah. In
like,
dual phase, I was getting grabbed a lot.
Because like either when in field phase, he can't really do much. Like, and then
yeah, he would try and use hypnosis to try and catch it after he hit a projectile, but pretty much every time it just failed to reach. Just be a little too slow.
Yeah, he can't do much, and the shield damage buff that Detected got really helped out too. Because I think it does like 32 now, and it did like 9 before. So like that stacked up a lot. So
I didn't actually know that got buff. I was just not. I just guess I forgot about that. But yeah, no, that actually probably did do like a lot of chip damage if you were to go through like the match, because he did it so many times. Like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then I'm actually curious. So then, how did you feel when you lost that 3-0 in the first set? Like, how did you keep your composure?
I just wanted to win. That was the only thing on my mind, to be completely honest.
Really?
Yeah. I know someone asked me, I forgot who, but it was like, when you lost that first set, did you think like, oh, second place is good?
Like,
it's good.
Just had those sort of creeping doubts?
Yeah. Well, I just kept thinking like, no, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this. And that's just how I kept going.
Wow.
Like even like,
really
yeah, like right there, like even though I was losing the games, it was still pretty close. Like I just perfect them.
Right.
True. You did.
Yeah, so I was doing close. It's just I kept guessing wrong. I kept attacking wrong because he kept permeating. I needed to get a good read on him, and I think I got that, obviously.
Yeah, you just needed to sort of figure out the pattern.
Yeah. It took a while.
So with that, I wanted to ask you, when it was, I can't remember which game it was. I think it was game 5. He was up around. He was in Mega Gengar, and you like had nothing. And you like you lived through it, and then you took the round to bring it to the final round. Like, how did you, like, during that moment, how did you feel?
Game 5 of set 2, when I jumped in and then grabbed, I just...
Yeah, you were asked this one before.
That moment is absolutely legendary.
It was the one that Burnside clipped, so it's the one that will live forever.
That's the... I play my best. Okay, this is gonna sound super weebish and like...
No, say it.
Like, I don't think. I'm like Ultra Instinct.
No, that's totally...
Like, I don't think. Like, I just do it and it works out.
No, that's...
Like, I mean, I do think, but you know what I mean, like... I don't doubt myself.
It was, no, it really just was, you played by instinct, you didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
And you played like you knew it was going to work, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and that made it work in a sense. That sort of confidence, that sort of decision making, like in that moment, that really, really, really helped you get through that round with just the craziest plays. The commentators are definitely going at it, and like that whole atmosphere, that excitement that rises. That's what brought it. Some people to call it one of the greatest fighting game sets of all time, which is a huge name. And obviously it's very debatable, but I can definitely see where people are coming from when they say that.
No, it was utterly insane. It was so great. Like, it had not only the peak viewer count of all of Pokemon Worlds of any day. It had 30. No, wait, how many? Some have seen I think 30K or something.
Yeah, around that.
Someone 35K.
Someone told me that, when I was down 2 games in the second set, like,
yeah, no, when you were
20K people left
on the third game of the second set, literally it went down to 10K. But then you started winning.
And the viewers went back up.
Yeah, viewers went back up a little bit.
You're the people's champ, man.
Yeah. But it was crazy. Like, you had all those viewers, and then you are now like the most watched Pokken World YouTube video. Like, your match, it had even after a few weeks, it had like still had, I think, at least 20,000 more viewers than the main event, quote unquote, of the event, which is Video Game Masters.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Absolutely.
I don't want to check on it now. I haven't checked on it.
Yeah, I haven't checked it in a while. It's probably I'm certain it's held up. The numbers don't really change out too much after like the first week.
Yeah, they flatline. They've had their time in the spotlight, but it will be immortalized as an absolutely fantastic set and a hallmark of 2.5 years of development in the Pokken Tournament meta. You know, with some patches, with some updates, but the core fundamental game has stayed, you know, fairly similar-ish since launch. So it's really awesome to see all this development, all this change. If you go back and watch season one like World Championship Finals, and you watch this now, or just like top 8 of both events, like it's absolutely insane how much has changed. And yet you still see some of the same players going at it time and time and again, keeping to it years after years to help either reclaim their title or prove that they're still good. And then just keep at like the passion here is absolutely insane. The World Championships really shows that. And I think there's no better representative of North America than ThankSwalot himself.
Don't embarrass me.
No, but I mean, you are the champion. You are the #1 player. You might. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll take Alistair's spot as Mr. Pokken himself.
Well,
That's quite a unique placement.
You know?
Alistair deserves to be Mr. Pokken. He does so much. Like, I know I win a lot, but like I still don't do as much for the community as I'd like. Like, unless you count like this, like where I did like the ultimate comeback.
I mean, this is pretty huge for the community.
Yeah,
like
this is massive.
Does so much, and he's been doing it for all the years.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Alistair's a great person. I don't want to.
I think I'll FCL link up to that.
Can't sell yourself short, though. I mean, you've done a lot for us as well. You've been high-level competitors since 2016. So it's like, you know, all these veterans, they all pitch in their own unique different ways. You know, we're on here right now making a podcast. All of us that we've been playing here since 2016. So it's just, you know, little ways to chip in. Anything you can do, everything counts. So the fact that you are a big part of our massive content awareness on YouTube, that alone is a huge part for where Pokken can go in the future.
I have one last thing, I guess, on my mind. I don't want to ask you things a lot. Looking back, how does it feel to go from 5th place at Pokemon North American Internationals 2016 in
that was just
shaky side room of the main event to being main stage with 8,444,000 views on YouTube, winning Pokemon World Championships 2018?
When I got 5th, it was like the biggest deal to me. Because in that tiny room, which it was so small, but it was still freaking cool.
It was such a cool room, but yeah.
I remember, like, I forgot when, but like, at some point, all my friends and family were like in the corner and they were cheering me on. That was like the greatest feeling. But now, like, it's like a dream come true getting first. Oh, and then like everyone's even more friends and even more families there.
That's great. That's amazing.
Really.
I have even more people. Well, they don't know you as Thanksalot, but they know Thanksalot.
Thanksalot, yes.
The legend.
The legend himself.
The legend Felgar versus Thanksalot.
That might be the power up, like Sweet Master.
One day we'll have that matchup.
One day.
What was Espeon? I forgot. Was it just like
ESP?
ESP.
The best one.
I think at internationals he had to use the Pokedex number for Espeon.
I think the best censorship was
a Wild G.
A Wild G. Yeah.
That was perfect.
He came in prepared. He knew it was going to happen. He had planned out, had the costume for it.
It looked delicious.
Cosplayed as G from Street Fighter. Yeah.
Massive shout outs to Wild Gallade, just making the best of the situation, having a good time with everybody.
Yeah, Gallade, he just instead went for G. He dressed up as Street Fighter character G, the president of the universe, or the Earth, I think.
Of the world, I think?
The world, yeah. President of the Earth, the world. And he owned it. He played that role. He hammed it up. He loved it. Pointed to the camera. You know, it was great.
That's how you get it.
That's the way you have to go about it with, you know, Pokemon Company. Just
make the best of it. Exactly. Have a good time. That's what we're here for.
Got him on the stream more than the world's great. And I think this is honestly one of the reasons I think it was probably the best World Finals that we had was that it finally wasn't a zoner battle. It didn't have a chandelier.
It wasn't Evo.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, was not.
Like,
Evo.
like both internationals and worlds this year were both, well, yeah, we're really just like these matchups that were exciting. They had a lot of spectacle to them. They had characters moving a lot, like at Gengar floating through the air, disappearing, going left and right. You had Sceptile dashing all over the place, getting hype leaf storms once, and like these things that like are a lot players or viewers are way more receptive to than like sort of far screen zoning. Even though World last year wasn't really that, it was still a lot of up close battle, but it still was like the stigma of projectile zoning, which really wasn't the case this year, which is cool. I know a lot of people do. Some people do enjoy watching some of the zoner battles, and range battles, and they are interesting. I do actually enjoy them in certain games, certain matchups. But it's just really fun to this was like the perfect storm of a grand final. It was like an American player playing like this really fun to watch character against like another really fun to watch character in Gengar. You have like these commentators that are super passionate, super excited about the game.
Right.
Game 5, like it was
like the atmosphere in the room was really incredible. There was someone behind me just yelling as loud as she possibly could, who definitely does not watch Pokken, but like
that's amazing.
Just
Wow.
enjoying the fact I'm rooting for the US players. Like it was really cool.
Yeah, that's how you know the energy was contagious. Like you could just feel the electricity in that crowd on the live stream and even in the YouTube video posted afterwards. Like you see comment after comment, this set was explosive, this set was hype, this was amazing to watch. And it's just it's amazing that we have these two characters that we don't really see often at the higher levels. At least Sceptile kind of phased out for a while, and ThankSwalot was like the sole like contender for kind of like the Sceptile player. Compared to 2016, well, having Bim and TJ also very active in the scenes among other players. So it's nice to see that. And then Gengar, already a very underrated character, but now you have people, waves of people going like, wow, Sceptile is OP, Sceptile is broken, or whatever, because they're not used to the game, but they go and see this, and then they create these different opinions, these new perspectives on the way our game is. So our game can evolve a lot also from new blood and new fresh perspectives. How do you feel about that kind of reprising wave of new Sceptile thought, new Sceptile opinions? ThankSwalot.
Oh, well, new opinions are always great because they can make you see things differently. And that, I don't know how to say it, but like, even if they're a noob and they don't know much about the game, their ideas could really like change up the meta. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
sure.
Like a lot of the time it might not happen, but there's always going to be someone who thinks of something that might change the way that character plays. But I feel like for Sceptile in particular, he's the type of character where he can be played a ton of ways. Like, I'm pretty sure if you check out every Sceptile in North America, Europe, or in Japan, they all play differently from each other. So I feel like Sceptile is that type of character where you could just do whatever.
Yeah, he's very freestyle.
So like when a new guy comes and has his own opinions on it, he could make it true, quote unquote. But he'll have to like continue like practicing, playing, learning the game more, like to develop those opinions more and more. Because that's what I did, kind of like.
Yeah, no one ways you did.
Yeah, I like movement a lot. I've said this a lot.
No, there really was this in 2016. This set idea from TJ and Bim, where it's like this is how you play Sceptile. It's like this patient waiting game. Like set up your seeds and then just sort of wait full screen. But you do like a lot of movement back and forth, and like time baiting everything.
Yeah, they're a lot more active in their face and trying to get them to push a button and then take heavy punishes off of that. Yeah. And you're not afraid to take risks either, which causes both a lot of excitement and a lot of unique interactions. So in a lot of ways, it's very different from the traditional Sceptiles we've seen at the top previously.
Even in Japan. It's almost as far as you can get from one of the best Sceptiles in Japan. Almost like his style is like so patient, so much more respectful, I shouldn't use that term. It's kind of a loaded term, but you know, like the more willing to like think your opponent is gonna like not press a button, like try and just wait. But you have like your own style. But I want to know, since there's all these new players and all these new players saw you win, there's been a lot of sentiment of like Sceptile best character in the game. You know, like from
Yeah.
amazing character. Like what are your thoughts on, I guess, Sceptile's a character and some people's opinion of Sceptile because of you? Like, his answer, like, so what do you think?
Like, how do I think, like, he's top tier or whatever?
Yeah, okay. Well, first, I want to ask, what do you think, where do you think he is? Like,
Probably, honestly, like, top 5.
Okay. That's fair. I think
That's fair. That's
Sure.
pretty fair, yeah.
Sure. I'm just curious of, like, how does it feel to be the reason people think he's top 5?
Oh, I'm embarrassed about it because like they think he's broken and I'm like no wait, it's fine. But I'm also like I'm embarrassed, but I'm also kind of like, aw, thank you. Like it feels good that people like, I've said this before, if I'm the reason that Sceptile gets nerfed, I'll be so happy. Well, I kind of it's kind of like that feeling. They think he's broken because of me, so I'm kind of like, aw, that's so like, aw. I'm
so nice of you.
It is like a,
yeah, like I'm glad my skill is showing off. People would think that way.
Mm-hmm.
So strong where it reflects onto the character rather than the player.
I think I would understand how you feel because I only half jokingly, I still do think Kushida did nerf Shadow Mewtwo because I beat him. I smashed him.
Wow.
I believe it.
Alistair
I could believe it too.
I still think Alistair. I still think that match was staged.
Where he lost to Hoshino? Yeah.
I don't think. Alistair, I know, wouldn't have lost.
When the pillar block string got nerfed.
So, yeah, no, literally I just clicked.
Well, like, how long did that last? Was it just a few weeks?
No, it was
about a month and a half.
Yeah, it was
so.
way too long.
It was
no, it's a joke. But there was it was more like NEC or something. Yeah, NEC. There's a way I used some of his projectiles that he nerfed later. That did actually get nerfed because they watched that because there's Japanese play. I did it against that one Japanese Gengar who went Charizard against
Apollo.
Apollo?
No, it wasn't Apollo. It
was it Sasa?
Sasahune.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both beat me. Thanks.
How things change, don't they?
Yeah. There was a certain thing I did with this Miracle Eye projectiles and field that got nerfed, but that I feel responsible for. But yeah, it does feel kind of neat to be like, huh, I'm good enough that I make the character too good?
That's a good feeling.
Because it's like, if you didn't exist, would he get any nerfs this upcoming patch if it happens? Who knows? You know.
Find the reason that like Leaf Storm gets nerfed. And,
Maybe
like,
you should have lost.
Oh, I will thank you. No, I will thank you. If they nerf Leaf Storm, I will thank you.
It's
Please.
fine.
Yeah.
Please.
Make that nice
doubt it
frame
would
4. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. I can totally understand where McDareth's coming from.
No, I'm gonna Leaf Storm all your moves because Blaziken.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Rest in pieces.
That's why I sit and just wait.
What's
'cause I
that
have
worse?
to.
Right.
Everything.
It's
Literally everything.
The Blaziken bias gets way too strong when both me and McDareth are on the mic.
yeah.
Like Blaziken gets Leaf Storm by literally everything so badly that even your 8X could Leaf Storm.
Yep.
And it was even in the
Yes.
trailer for Sceptile.
Yeah.
Even 6X gets Leaf Storm because he jumps on that useless move.
Yeah.
I guess I wanted to ask you one other thing though. So now do you get like a bunch of like Discord pings or like Twitter messages about people wanting to like play you and like get some matches like with a bunch of people?
Not as many as you might think. Usually just the same people who've been doing it before.
Okay.
Oh.
There's been 1 or 2 new people, and I've done it, and that was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. Usually, yeah, it's just usually the same people nowadays, though.
That's fair. I mean, it has been a little bit of time. I know, like, after Alistair had his E3 event, like, he was getting blown up by all the messages, and then literally for like 70% of them, he'd all end up saying like, "Oh, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with projecting us or something? Or, like, how do I deal with wake up?" And he'd just be like, "Just block," and be like, they'd just be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
It's sweet, but it's also like, yeah, I get it. Alistair has so many.
Right.
But, I mean, totally
as much. The only thing I had to worry about was my Twitter blowing up and notifications blowing up at the beginning.
Yeah, how many did you? Probably had so many likes.
For like 20 minutes after I showed someone, and there's still like 100 notifications left.
Was it like? I've seen like a GIF of someone once, where like they had like a really popular post, so it's just like a constant scrolling and linking alerts. Was it like that for you?
Basically. I mean, I didn't mind it. I liked every post because I was like, "Oh, thank you."
It must have been a long Twitter session. Oh man, that's great. So what's your mindset going forward? What do you think is going to be like your next event? How are you going into it?
I had the Storm going to win that.
You just feel like you're gonna win everything you go to now?
Just waltz on down and
I really want to start winning everything now. Like before I was like, okay, like before this year I was like, okay, I just want to make top 8 or like not get 8th because I kept getting 8th over and over last year. So I just wanted to do that, but like now that I've had the taste of victory like from earlier this year, I just want to keep on winning over and over, but I'm not gonna be sad if I lose. It's all fun anyway.
Well, speaking of being, having fun, how much do you think you're willing to try and go with more of that Empoleon now that you have that big title behind your back? Maybe less stress to get that big win.
Is that gonna affect your decision making at all in terms of what characters you play in tournament?
Oh well. For Empoleon, I always want to use him more. It's just... Well, I think winning gave me the confidence, because I made a poll earlier today, saying, like, should I use Empoleon more at Eye of the Storm or Destiny? And people are saying they want to see more of it at both, and that's also giving me confidence. Another thing that gave me confidence was Alistair saying he likes seeing my Empoleon. Okay. That one post he did. So... Yeah. I was always worried about my Empoleon because, like, I knew I was good with it. Some people call me the best in NA or even the world.
Wow.
And that's all nice, and I really appreciate it. But I was still deep down like super nervous about it. But I think this win, like, I'm not less stressed, but everyone likes my Empoleon so much. That it's just gave me confidence, and winning gave me more confidence that I think like I could win with because the reason I picked Sceptile is because he's my favorite Pokemon. Empoleon's also one of my favorites. So winning with
your plushies on the interview.
Winning with my favorite is what's giving me confidence to play with my other favorite.
That's a good mindset to have going forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a lot of I know in other games, other like champions have talked, and they've always felt, or they've generally sort of said that they've been like had this real big pressure to like they couldn't go out and experiment because it's like they had to. It's like they didn't have that sort of confidence with other characters because they felt like the pressure was too high to keep that sort of status of being that champion. But that they would like worry about the secondaries. It's like, oh, I won with this, I have to keep playing with that. But if you're like feeling like, oh, I won with this, I can win with anything. That's great. That's fucking great. That's really great. Yeah.
I don't think of Empoleon as a secondary. I think of him as a second main.
That's great. That's a really good mindset. So, I guess extending out of Empoleon, where do you see that character in terms of potential and like?
I think I think he has a lot of potential because I mentioned it in my interview with Cheeto and Jet Split.
You should check it out on Pokken Arena.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of potential that people are missing out on. Like I mentioned a lot of things, like there's a lot of things people don't do with Empoleon that are really helping the matchup, because I know people some people say like, oh, when you phase shift and go back to field, you kind of just get screwed anyway. But when you finish a combo, but like just Aqua Jet. Literally, like I got that idea because some characters do that too. I forgot which characters, but they whiff a move on purpose just to get.
Well, after Machamp's burst attack, they'll always do a cross chop to just get up in your face.
Blaziken, if you wall splash, you can do normal Brave Bird. Do the same thing.
Yeah. So I thought of that like, it just came to me one day, just use Aqua Jet and you get right up in their face.
Wow.
Okay.
Another thing that this is more for people who just keep underestimating his grabs. I have landed so many field grabs into dual grabs. I'm impressed with myself.
As a Shadow Mewtwo that had to play against a Weavile, Coach Steve's Weavile for a significant portion of time, I know that every grab matters. Like, just because it's low damage, it adds up. It's damage nonetheless. You get the phase shifts do a lot in this game. Give you meter, give you remove HP, give you HP. Like, guaranteed phase shifts are pretty important. Like, the grab, don't knock a grab because it has low range or low damage.
Yeah.
Like, taking that grab still hurts.
Yeah. I mean, Empoleon lands a defense debuff, so like his dual grabs is 90, so like that's still gonna do a ton when it's like a defense debuff.
Sure. Yeah, it does like 110 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like in general, I think he has a lot of untapped potential. I know I just said that, but like what I mean.
That's fair.
Like,
okay.
There's a lot going for him that people haven't realized, and I think I'm starting to realize it all.
I still thought that character has way too much chip damage.
Yeah, that's also another thing. Get a defense debuff, and then you do Oki Hydro Cannon. And then Drill Peck.
Yeah, I don't know. Shadow Mewtwo, I don't have to worry. That's not the chip I worry about. I worry about the fucking...
I don't need chip against Shadow Mewtwo.
No, you don't. You
not a whole lot of HP to
do
work
that.
with.
And just gonna warn you, if we ever fight someday and I go Empoleon...
You're never gonna use... You're just gonna use Surf. Or you're just gonna use Surf every time, right?
No, don't use Pillar Oki, because I can literally defog.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. You can defog. Yeah, I can't do that. It's the same with I can't do it against Blazikens either. YouTube.
Yeah.
Or YouTube. I think where it's like if I try and do like Pillar and then dash up Miracle Eye or the Sky Uppercut, it destroys it completely. Of course, there are ways I can bait that, but it's all a mix up. But I do think Empoleon's really strong. What would you say are some actual weaknesses then? That are like, what do you say are like weaknesses that you think are like legitimate complaints?
I do think he does have trouble getting in, especially in field. Actually, I think only in field, because it's much easier to slide around when you're in duel. A lot of his field moves are also pretty laggy, like side Y, back Y, neutral Y. But I can really, like, if you don't play field well, you're probably going to end up losing because your opponent's going to get, like, especially if they're like Lucario, they're going to get their synergy way before you. So he has that problem. For duel, he doesn't really have a good anti-air. That's the biggest thing. So Drill Peck is still pretty good for covering things. Well, it's not as fast.
It's not an anti-air, right?
It's not an anti-air, but it's kind of good for quote unquote anti-airing. Yeah.
I guess if they're like jumping on you or like theoretically right above you, it will hit them. Yeah. Like, I guess it's okay in that sense, and it is 11 frames, so it is fast.
Yeah.
So not too bad.
I think it also has low immunity. I forgot when though.
I think like right at the start. Well, probably.
Yeah.
Does it? I don't know. regardless.
I don't think at the start, but somewhere.
No, it's probably like 5 frames after like anti-airs. Do you think like the buffs in the most recent patch helped?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like neutral Y, you're committed to literally just use Ice Beam in a straight line, Aqua Jet in a straight line, stay in place.
Pre-patch you did.
Like everything was in a straight line, and your opponent could just walk around that. But with the slide, now you can go to the side now or retreat backwards. Like it just makes everything so much easier. Same with the new slide buff, where you could slide in place and duel. And in general, his movement speed's a lot faster, which improves with him trying to get in and field a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think was there more? Was it just?
He got the slide cancel in field. He got the small slide and duel.
Oh yeah, 5YX. That's also really good because I'm right now. I'm actually finding out like Rotom burst attack unblockables.
Those two exist, I guess. Yeah, he was the only one of the command grab super characters that didn't get the nerf of supports going away when their burst activates.
Yeah.
This is kind of fair because his isn't invincible, so you don't have to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are theoretically ways to deal with it.
A lot of characters can still...
And it's also placed.
A lot of characters can still quote-unquote escape that unblockable. By that, I mean it's like knocking down Empoleon so he can't like combo after Rotom hits. Like even Blastoise can escape by just doing JX. But like it's still pretty good. Like I think the only characters I've tested so far that I think can't escape are Lucario, Gardevoir, and Pikachu, I think.
I wonder if you could do that if you do like or cancel the jump squat frames. I don't know how long the burst attacks hitbox is active. Actually, not for very long.
Oh, it goes on for quite a while.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, and it hits all around him.
Oh, okay. Does it hit behind him? That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like I forget if it's Gengar or is it Mewtwo's, but one of them hits like underneath the ground as well.
Yeah.
So it was like Garchomp would be like underneath you.
Empoleon lasts so long that you can actually catch like people doing JXs.
Really? Does it have that much? Just have that hitbox above them? Above him high enough?
No, it just. I remember I was testing it just to see how long it was. But I can't talk. For how long it was active. I think if Blastoise, like, his JX, when he uses it, it lasts for that long. Like, he'll land and then still get hit by the grab burst attack.
Wow.
Like, as long as he doesn't hit Empoleon out of
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have that much iframes.
Well, but yeah, like...
Okay, so if it misses, that makes sense.
It's the most active out of the grab burst attacks, I think. Which...
Again, makes sense.
Yeah, I think his burst attack's actually pretty underrated because people just see that, oh, it's not invincible, that makes it trash. But it has a very active hitbox. It can kind of just quote unquote anti-air, I guess. It hits literally all around him.
And you can cancel it. You can on block cancel into it and have it still hit, which is significant. The other two burst attack command grabs don't do that.
Yeah,
like if you try and
you can combo into it much easier.
You can also combo into it, which is the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Guaranteed damage is always nice.
Yeah, Gengar can only combo with Hypnosis, and I think Mewtwo's is when he uses Barrier and that.
Confusion.
Yeah.
When he uses Confusion, crit in field phase.
Yeah.
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 Basically. That's the only time I'll ever work.
Yeah.
Or unless you have problem.
Yeah. You could also be pretty tricky with Empoleons. Like, he has so many moves where you would hit their shield, and then you can go into burst attack, and if they continue shielding or do anything besides, they're gonna get hit.
Yeah, he's the only one of the three that can, what I was saying, special cancel into the burst attack, command grab, and have it hit instead of them just being block stun.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, the other two, for the most part, can't do that.
Yeah, that also counts for just hitting them in general. Like if you hit someone 5YY, you could do your burst attack, and if they don't jump, they get hit.
Yeah, it's a grab. Yeah. Yeah, so he's a pretty cool character.
Yeah, it's just
in general. Do you think he needs anything more? Like
buff 8Y?
Yeah, a buff 8Y, he needs an anti-air.
Yeah. Field back Y is decent because it can actually combo into Aqua Jet at far distances. I just want it to like combo into Aqua Jet in duel. That's all. Or be a little faster. Either works.
Can you not like combo into it from like full screen into Aqua Jet?
not in duel. They'll air tech.
Ah, that's weird.
Yeah.
What a weird character.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I've had to ask you. Thanks a lot. Anyone else have any questions?
I think some general questions, kind of more aimed at people looking to maybe do something similar to what you've done. So like, we'll skip the. Well, no. How did you first get into Pokken?
That's a good question.
So, as my Twitter handle might imply, I used to play VGC a lot. And I have a friend named Ashton Cox. I don't know if he's really good. He gets like top. He wins, you know. He's one of the more well-known VGC players. I haven't really kept up with his teams nowadays, but back then he used to always use like the silly Pokemon. Like I forgot what he used. But like I kind of took inspiration from that.
Would he be the type of person to use Croco?
But yeah, I kind of took inspiration from that, so I started making teams. So I started making teams with some of my favorite, well, not favorites, but like Pokemon that I think could work, but like aren't that common. And it was working for a while, but I was a senior, so obviously, you know, seniors division compared to masters.
Mm-hmm.
But my like second regional, I won with Azumarill, Medicham, Escavalier, Reuniclus, Chandelure, and Amoonguss. And like four of those are like the most uncommon Pokemon you'll ever see, especially Medicham.
And two of them are like meta staples that will be in every team forever.
Yes, but like how I got into Pokken was basically that stopped working, and I started thinking VGC was boring. And that was the year that Auras was having all the legendaries. And
that was
a fun match.
2016
primals. But that was 2016. That's when Pokken was announced, or was it
released? It was announced in 15, released in 16.
Okay. Well, either way, I forgot when, but like, oh yeah, somewhere around November, December, a friend texted me that there was a leak for Pokken on the cabinet, and it was Sceptile. I don't know if you remember that leak.
I do remember what you're talking about. Yeah, there was like
my friend texted me that image, and I got super psyched because I beforehand I was still thinking, maybe I'll do Pokken, maybe I will do Pokken, because it might be more fun than VGC. And then Sceptile got announced, and I'm like, oh, I could actually do good with my favorites. So that kind of just kickstarted it off. It's also funny because it's like the best birthday present ever, because my birthday's in December and he got announced the 9th of December. Yeah. And then Napoleon got announced the 5th of December. And the year after.
We knew this coming for longer, but yeah.
It was like the best birthday gifts, the penguin and the Christmas tree. So I always knew I wanted to do Pokemon. I was determined to get good with Sceptile, no matter what. Even though I had no knowledge of actual fighting games besides Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I got into Pokken. I just wanted to win with my favorite. And it was like the best feeling ever.
So I'd say, to follow up, what was the first Pokken event you entered, and how did you do?
It was St. Louis Showdown. all those years back. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that event was.
Yeah, I got-
spicy.
Yeah, that was when there were no pools. It was just one giant bracket.
Was it?
Yeah.
That was the one that was one giant bracket. It was the one. It was the next official Pokemon event that was like had the bracket reset from pools to. These are some entertaining events. But continue, yes.
So, I got 17th in that. I forgot who I lost to first, but I think the second time I lost to Jada.
I
forgot
I haven't heard in so long.
Yeah, so long. I went 1 and 2 just for reference for 17th. Yeah, that was my first event, and I got inspired more.
Then what was the first one that you ever won?
First one was this year, right?
Yeah, that was NorCal. What was it? Yeah, NorCal Regionals.
Was it NorCal?
Back in April?
Yeah. The one I got.
Yeah, you got flown to.
I still feel bad with that though, because I know some people were saying like, "Oh, they're just advertising it." And I'm like, I feel bad, but like, oh well, kinda. I don't know. But yeah, that was the first one I won. I beat.
You were money well spent.
Yeah.
Alistair, Slip, Cool Jake, Weekend Master, Truckum Knight. I think that was all.
Yeah, probably. It wasn't like a. Well, it was actually bigger than it probably had any right to be, considering how.
Yeah, but that was the biggest one, and that was it was a pretty good one too. Like it was so much fun. And I got a lot of things.
Mitchell was there too. That was a cool event.
It was a lot of fun.
Alright, then. So thinking back to St. Louis Showdown, after that event, did you really think a few years later you'd be the world champion?
I was like, oh, I'd be lucky if I made top 8. So it was like I was nowhere near thinking I was going to be a world champion. Like I said before, getting 5th at nationals was like a huge deal for me, both from like a placement and all my friends and family noticing it. Like it felt so big, and then yeah, I had no idea I'd freaking win worlds.
I mean,
Miracles can
people
happen,
do.
never know.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, because I was like, there's so many people here who actually know like fundamentals and like fighting game knowledge and like frame data. I still don't know frame data, and I feel bad.
Oh, whoa.
Well,
I mean, you kind of don't.
I think-
If you know
okay.
what you can punish with, you don't really need to know frame
Yeah,
data.
you need the exact frame data. Yeah, if you know what's
Yeah.
punishable, then you're good.
Like,
Yeah, I
knowing the
know,
exact
but,
numbers
like,
isn't
no.
as important.
I know, but still, sometimes I attempt to jump when I'm -8, and then my opponent's like, "Why are you trying to jump?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know it was -6."
Yeah. That's where you
So
need to know.
those awkward moments, but like other than that, like I just know about my own characters. Like I don't know the frame data for them, but I know like the moves that are still like frame 11.
Mhm.
So like Perceptile
Yeah.
only hits grab.
I mean, the only numbers you really need to know are just like -8 and -12. Like in terms of what's on block, because it's like everything else you can just jump.
Yeah, I know what moves.
You have to block, you get hit, or you jump. That's how my view on Pokken works. Because I don't know, doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're minus, you can still hit buttons.
But yeah, I don't know numbers, but like I know what's punishable. Like I know like I'll grab a Suicune who does the CA version of I forgot what the headbutt is. It CAX or whatever?
CA what?
Yeah.
See what?
Yeah, I'll grab that. I know that. I'm not that dumb.
Right. And one final one, so I want to spin this one a little differently. So, if you could go back and tell your young self, back St. Louis Showdown again,
Oh boy.
all that time, what advice you would give? What advice could you give to yourself from what you know now?
Back then, I loved spamming JX. So I would just tell my and Leaf Blade. So I would just tell myself to just calm down with using that. I can't talk. Using JX Leaf Blade because that was the main reason I lost to Suicune Master at Nationals. He literally counterattacked every JX of mine because I loved using it over and over. So I would just tell myself to do that, and that would just set me up to do better in general throughout the rest of my tournament career.
And then on top of that,
pretty good advice for any
yeah,
starting out.
I'm using a single move.
I was gonna say, also, what would you tell someone who's inspired after seeing your win, and they really want to get good? What would you tell them they should work on, or what to focus on?
I feel like if I were to give an order of what to learn, I'm not sure. Probably like, obviously learn your character, try to remember every move you can, go in training mode, and then you practice combos. And then you practice matchups. And then blah blah blah. But so I'm bad at explaining in general, but like, I don't know how like, for any character or just for Reptile?
Well, I guess just sort of like, I imagine like in general, like, how should someone try and get into Pokken and learn? Not necessarily to become, world champion, but like just to get into Pokken.
Yeah.
Well, if I were to give them advice, I would tell them that Pokken's an easy game to learn, but it's hard to master. So I would just tell them to try to master all the easy stuff first, and continue like practicing with it and developing it, and then go into that harder stuff like perfect blocking, extended state, backdash iframes, all that good stuff. And just in general, like just learning matchups. Like, I feel like in order to, obviously, if you want to learn a matchup, you got to learn your own character first. I feel like the best way to test yourself against your own character is practicing in the Ditto first.
Really? I've heard other
practicing the Ditto.
Or you're going up against yourself, so like not only are you practicing for yourself, and you're not just practicing for the Ditto, you're watching someone else you're fighting play, so you're learning what they're doing too.
Okay. So you think it's really useful to get like the in and outs of your characters and see how other people do things and how you do things and compare all of that and try to take the best of what you see?
Yeah, like I said, I'm bad at explaining, but that's the gist of it.
Okay, cool. No, that makes total sense. Yeah, understanding the tools you're given is like really, really important so that you know what you can do, how you can react to different situations. So starting from that as a base is really solid. I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, this is why you're the commentator.
Fortunately, commentators don't end up getting the most viewed 8,000 or 844,000 viewer Pokemon matches on. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess as it's coming up to almost 2 hours getting there to the show, definitely ask you plenty of questions tonight, and thank you so much for asking them. So let's talk about what's coming up for Pokken, future-wise.
Oh yeah.
You talked about some of the events you'll be coming up to. Let me just get the upcoming. So you said they'll be coming to Iowa Storm, right?
Yep.
When is that exactly? I'm forgetting.
I have the link up.
Is that November?
October 13th to 14th.
Okay, so that's in October.
November is Destiny.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So the order of events, I think it's Iowa Storm, which is the first real Midwest big event that they've had, right?
Yeah.
Like their own grassroots event.
Yeah, their own. Yeah, I think Pokken's the only main thing besides Bomberman.
Yeah. Apparently having a Bomberman side of it. Yeah, no, it's kind of really cool. It's their sort of version of what Final Boss was, what Destiny will be. It's really cool to just see more of these.
Yeah.
Grassroots community.
I think didn't Final Boss get delayed?
Yeah. Final Boss 2 is in early next year.
Yeah, there's been some weird issues with venue and some other stuff like that.
Yeah, they're working some stuff out. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's super cool that these events exist. You know, the community-owned, community-run events. That's super huge. And then so after that, there's Revo in Europe. I think that's going to be really cool. Having more European events, like see who does well, like European sort of player rankings. You know, necessarily they don't have an official one or anything, but just like how the players stack up against each other has been probably the most contentious it's ever been this year. I'd say, like really, like there's a lot of really good European players right now. Not that it haven't been before, but just like before it was like Fatty would always win, but now it's like you had XF, or you have Lollipop Cat Fairy winning. You had like Jintrax doing well. You had Wingtide doing well. Like you have all these different people, like really starting to get more up in there and compete, which is really fun to watch. Get to look out for. What do you know? What date? Well, actually, what's the date? Yeah, what's the date for Revo?
For Revo, let me check that. That is definitely
Loading Smash.gg. It's September 28th through 30th, so it's gonna be the end of this month.
Oh, geez, so that's the first. Okay, that's coming up. And then, okay, so that's coming up then. The end of the month. So then, after that, I believe Canada Cup is happening before Eye of the Storm. Oh no, it comes after. Okay,
Yes, after.
then we have Eye of the Storm. Sort of earlier in October, and then at the end of October, October 26th, 28th, you have Canada Cup, which will have Pokken. Canada Cup's a long-running fighting game.
It's gonna have a nice pop bonus as well, graciously donated by Greg. So really nice to see.
I believe L is going at least, or I think he said he was. Last I heard.
Helm the World Warrior. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Wants to go to Canada. Let's see if this time the invaders can be repelled, because last time Azazel won that.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
That
that was the last time it was like really officially there. Before it was just like a pure extra side event.
Right, it was about 10 entrants, I believe, in 2017. So
Yeah, no, it wasn't even on the website.
yeah,
Like now
it was thrown together.
we're advertised on the
Yeah,
like.
you say
events.
that, but the amount of time that event has been tossed to me, like, oh look, Blaziken won something. It's like, yes, with 10 people.
I know.
Anyway, Canada Cup coming up.
like-
Go support the event.
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Canadian event. Canada has a ton of really good players that never get to go anything because they're in Canada. Like two of the best Shadow Mewtwo players, both in Canada.
In the groove in Tidal Vortex?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, they're two really great Shadow Mewtwo players.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
keep in mind. top 10
That
games.
is the grand
So,
final.
they're pretty much all of us are top 10 because there's only about 10. You know, like,
There you go. There you go. It works the same with Blaziken too. So
Big oof. And
that's the way it goes.
I know
we can all relate to that.
Our numbers are slowly growing. But then, so yeah, it's gonna be a really cool event to watch. And then we have Destiny, Roxo's event. We talked about that plenty last month.
Massively hyped. It's going to be the big event of this year. Pretty much like the
remaining of this
successor.
year.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, like I guess the off season after
Yeah.
the World Championships, of course. But it's just gonna be huge. Just that one big community push event that we like to have at the end of the year. You know, we had NEC 17 back in 2016. We had Final Boss last year. So this year now we're looking at Destiny as like a big, big push from the East Coast. Oh, this is all it happens to be on the East Coast because they've got that thriving scene that's pushing hard with their TOs and everything like that. So it's gonna be really awesome to see people from all over. I've heard Japan's got plans, Europe's got plans. We're gonna definitely see West Coast. We're gonna see Midwest. East Coast can come out in full force. I hope to see some Texas representatives there as well. I believe it's going to be an awesome, great event. We're going to have Doghouse Esports streaming it, just like they streamed DreamHack Austin 2018, which is a fantastic event. And I know Roxo just absolutely loves working with Corrigan and Weavile. So, I mean, the stakes are really high here. It's going to be an awesome pop bonus. It's going to be a fantastic venue. We're looking at an absolutely bombastic tournament this year. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Are you all going?
I don't think I'll be going. Yeah, I haven't been able to travel out of state just yet, but someday.
No, thanks a lot. I want to ask. You got excited when you started talking about Destiny. Are you trying to not only take Roxo's entrance fee, just take this tournament money too?
Let's go. I plan on winning that.
Wow.
I still need to pay back Roxo even more for beating me all those times.
Wow. You're not done with revenge after beating him at internationals. You gotta go.
No, I'm not. He's beaten me. I think he still beat our record. He's still winning by 1, so I'm gonna get my revenge.
This is the time and place.
Same goes out to Twixie. Beat me 4 times in a row. Like, look at you. I'm gonna catch up.
Talking about Twixie. This is the closest we're gonna get to trash talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm registered. All you watching on Twitch, on YouTube, make sure to register as soon as you can. You know, every extra person registered, and every extra person who books their hotel is like makes it so much easier, so much better for Rockstar. Allows them to have such a better event for you. And just all around, like, try to do it now before it gets too expensive. I think the price, I want to say it's like the end of this month, or like beginning of October, is when the price will increase again and get even more expensive. So don't do that. Don't wait.
Right.
Don't be slow. Make sure you get your name on that bracket right now. You never even know. You might even be able to get.
It'll be late, so you can support Roxo somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
For now. You never know.
He's
Maybe
paying for all out of
get
pocket.
like a Doghouse Esports like promo for the event. Like people will get in their face and names on those Twitter posts. It's pretty cool.
Right. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So November 9th through 11th, you guys got to save the day. It's gonna be one stacked weekend.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I really hope more people come out. I think we're at 52 right now.
Okay.
Let me check.
FGC is infamous for last place.
Late registrations.
Yeah, 52. I really want more people to come. I feel like that's gonna be a really good one.
It definitely will be. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely just great. It's really cool if there's just these 2 community-focused events happening. It's just great to see, especially after seeing like how much of a success I'd say Worlds was. Yes, that is here pulling out.
I don't know why I did that. I'm just like I'm
feeling it. You know, sometimes you feel it. Sometimes you gotta show off the swag.
Oh no, yeah, I got it. No, I was like Empoleon. I'm mad I didn't do that when we were talking about Empoleon.
You gotta know what that is. Yeah, and then after that, we don't necessarily have any other confirmed events, but
imagine NEC.
Yeah, I was about to say NEC is pretty.
Big E is a fairly safe bet, and we do have a generally good idea, considering how successful we were at World Championships this year. There's definitely a very high chance that we're going to get another season, our 4th competitive season for the Pokemon Company International. So we're going to be hoping for the best there. We'll probably get information around maybe February, March. Like we had one-time exception where they announced that we're going to have a new season during the end of 2017.
But even then, the information came on March. Like that's when they actually got the information regarding what was
right. They just said, "Hey, there's a 2018 season," and then we got no information for the next couple months. Yeah. All we knew is that it was going to be on DX, but that was kind of an obvious statement. Anyway, but now we've playing that waiting game during the off season where it's just kind of uncertain. Like you can never be 100% sure, but things are looking pretty likely for us.
Yeah. I mean, there's one last thing I guess to look forward to very immediately is with the. Coming of the, or it has already now come, the online Switch Nintendo service.
Oh yeah, that just got updated as we were doing our podcast.
Just got updated. The game theoretically has to be patched in order to be compliant with that, actually. So, you know, people have to still be working on it. So theoretically, if they're working on that, they might still be working on other things. And words on the wind that I've heard from various sources that there are still people working on Pokken. I don't want to name or say who, but you know, the Pokken team still exists. They're still working away on stuff that they are excited to show us eventually. We're just at the whims of Pokemon once again. We survived it once, we'll survive it again.
We'll always survive.
Yeah. I mean, we've survived a lot.
Yeah.
And just growing, constantly growing. And so I guess with that, let's just sort of wrap it up. Thanks a lot. Where can the beautiful viewers find you? Where can they find your face, your information, all the good stuff?
Thanks a lot for having me.
What's your social media? What are your tags? What do you go by? Where can you find you?
See my Twitter. That's the only thing I have basically.
Just thanks a lot on Twitter.
Yeah, at ThankSwalot VGC.
Okay, and of course you can find them on all the different Discords. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Hit them up if you want to.
Join the Septile Empoleon Discords. We need more people.
Please.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Septile was abandoned and Empoleon sucks.
There you go. I mean, you're
Potential.
the sole herald carrying the meta of both characters, so
All you need
gotta
to
take
do is take Empoleon and win Pokemon Worlds 2019.
There you go. Easy. No problem. Easy. Then you get the character nerfed to the ground and be literally unplayable. There we go.
It happened to Braxton and Chandelure. Wait, no. Anyways, where can I find you, Cameron?
Percy Veltall.
Right, so for me, I used to stream a lot on twitch.tv/FerrumStreams, but life has gotten a lot in the way, so that's kind of been not too consistent, but I do hang out on Twitter here and there, and my handle there is @ComboFGC. I also tend to be on Discord a lot. If I'm offline, I'm probably not actually offline. You can send me a message anytime. I'll probably be there. Yeah, aside from that, I just usually hang around and talk to people.
That's cool. You can find me at @Pokken on Twitter and every Discord that's regarding Pokken. I'm literally in all of them. I have to be. And now that I'm back at college, I actually have, paradoxically, more time to stream and a better internet connection to do it. It's actually, I just finally was able to set up my wired connection here. I figured out like a time slot I can actually set aside to do it consistently, and I'm really excited to try and have a schedule maybe for once. Crazy. So for once, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna hold myself to this, I'm gonna stream next week, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
That's what they all say.
I know, but I'm gonna hold myself to this time.
All right.
Because I'm gonna tell the Shadow Mewtwo Discord to like spam ping me if I don't. And they'll do it. They will.
They will do it.
But yeah, that my Twitch is @mins_, or just mins__. Okay. And then McDareth.
Hey, you can find me Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. It's just at McDareth. Some Pokken stuff gonna come up here whenever it's all ready to be announced. The video and the whole discussion for the first season of rankings will be here. I don't know if that's okay. That hasn't been announced outside the Discord. So yeah, that's gonna be here.
Soon. Yeah.
Whenever that is ready. Besides that, probably another thing with Roxo eventually.
Oh, just like a chat.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed Ferrum Heights number 10. Thanks again. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Congrats once again on your World Championship 2018 win.
Wait, do you have the trophy in your room?
Oh, no, I'm at my dad's, so...
Alright, let's see you get the shot. That's fine.
You can get the shot in there.
Okay.
Let me find a picture of it.
Maybe some other time. Well, make sure you should give us like a picture of you holding the trophy for the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, I found that there was a Japan Pokemon account tweeted it out, so I have that.
Oh, perfect.
Cool.
You get to show it off one way. Don't worry. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching.
There it is. Close enough. I think it's the only picture I have.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is it.
Green guy.
Thank you so much for watching.
It was a great time.
Good time. We'll be back in about probably a month and a half. See you then.
Yep. See you guys.